Hello everyone, I'm Edwin and welcome to Tagalog Masterclass. Today I'm just going to go over Tagalog Unit 1C and in this, so let's just go ahead and just get started. So last video we looked at Unit 1B where we primarily talked about introducing yourself to other people, learning some basic readings, the words at and sina, plural marker mga, and verbs. But today you'll learn and be able to point to objects in Tagalog, use question phrases like how many, what is this, use mayroon, and meron and learn their differences, count from 1 to 10, and conjugate MAG verbs. So we have a lot of things that we going to be learning today for your Tagalog progress. So let's start with our dialogue. So I will first narrate, and then you will practice, and then I will explain the details. So let's get started. May papel ka ba? Mayroon. May ilan kang papel? May 3 akong papel. May lapis ka ba? Oo. Pakibigyan mo ako ng lapis. Aba, siyempre. Salamat. Walang anuman. Alright. So that was a quick dialogue. Now I want you to go ahead and with your language partner or by yourself, practice these dialogues. So pause the video and practice. So Juan said, may papel ka ba? Do you have a paper? Or do you have paper? Mayroon, which basically means meron. Yeah, which means I have. Ilan ang papel mo? How many papers do you have? May 3 akong papel. Right? I have 3 sheets of paper. Pakibigyan mo ako ng lapis. Can you give me a pencil? Aba, siyempre. Of course. Salamat, which means thank you. Walang anuman. You're welcome. Yes, that was a quick dialogue. So practice that on your own, in your own time. And yeah, let's just move on to what we call dagdaga aral. So I will first show you the vocabularies. You will then practice with your partner or by yourself, and I will show you a quiz at the end. So these are the vocabularies that we're going to be learning today. So let's just start. So we have aklat or libro. Nanghiram ako ng 2 libro sa aklatan. I borrowed 2 books from the library. So libro means book. Now let's look at kwaderno. Isinusulat namin ang mga detalye sa kwaderno. Namin, para ibigay ang impormasyon sa iba. Right? We are writing the details on our notebook to give the information to others. Right? So, kwaderno, notebook. Yeah, right? As you can see in this slide, at the very bottom, right there, you see the specific translation. And I'm not going to go to specific details of each translation, but you can go ahead and just take a quick look at it, pause the video, take some notes, write them down in your notebook, make some flashcards for yourself and for your own learning. Now, pisara and tisa. Nagsusulat ang guro namin ng gamit ng tisa sa pisara. Right? The teacher is writing on the board using chalk. So gamit ng tisa sa pisara. Sa pisara, board, chalk, tisa. But in the Philippines, we usually just use the word chalk. Tisa is just a very old term for chalk and stuff like that. In pisara, I don't think we use pisara anymore in the Philippines. I don't think it's very uncommon for people to say To Sarah, we just say board, sometimes whiteboard, blackboard. So, pakibigyan. Pakibigyan mo po ng tubig ang kaibigan ko. Right? Please give my friend water. Right? Pakibigyan. So paki is just a word for please. And then bigyan is a word which came from the word bigay, but it's just conjugated in a way that it allows paki, the affix paki, to mean please give. Now pambura. Meron po ba kayong pambura? Mali kasi ang isinulat ko. Okay. Do you have an eraser? Because what I wrote is incorrect or wrong. Okay. So, meron po ba kayong pambura? Pambura. Okay. That's the key vocabulary. Then we have lamesa. Nasa ibabaw ng lamesa ang pagkain. Lamesa being table. So this sentence means the food is on top of the table, right? Nasa ibabaw ng lamesa ang pagkain. Now we have silya. So sometimes the word silya can also mean upuan, which means chair. So araw-araw siya nakaupo sa isang silya sa loob ng bahay pagkatapos ng trabaho. He sits at a chair at home every day after work. So, chair, silya, right? So, silya, chair, which sometimes you say upuan. I can see why it is, because upo means to sit, but silya is it came from the Spanish word silla, but silya, we just took in that word and make it our own, silya. Now we have telephone. Bumili siya ng telepono para tawagin ang kanyang kaibigan sa ibang bansa. Right? Telepono. He bought a telephone to call his friend abroad. Right? Bumili siya ng telepono para tawagin ang kanyang kaibigan sa ibang bansa. Now we have payong. Kailangan mo ng payong dahil umuulan ng malakas sa labas. Payong. You need an umbrella because it's raining hard outside. Okay? Now we have susi. Hindi kami makapasok sa bahay dahil nawala ang susi namin. Okay? We are not able to enter the house because our keys had gone missing. So keys, susi. Now we have tubig. Mahalagang uminom ng tubig araw-araw. Right? It is important to drink water every day. Tubig. Right? Tubig. Mahalagang uminom ng tubig araw-araw. Then we have panyo. Wala akong panyo na magagamit ko sa paglilinis ng bahay. Right? Wala akong panyo na magagamit sa paglilinis ng bintana, not bahay, ng bintana. Right? I don't have a handkerchief that I will be able to use to clean the windows. Pamaypay. Right? Kapag mainit sa labas, right, lagi akong may pamaypay. If it's hot outside, I always have a fan or a hand fan or folding fan. Right? Kapag mainit sa labas, lagi akong may pamaypay. Yeah. So, this is very common in the Philippines for people to have pamaypay when it's hot outside. I used to use like actual like folded papers in this, and I used to use pamaypay in the Philippines when it's very hot. But these days, this day and age, we have air conditioning. So, yeah. Ito and iyan. So, may hawak akong lapis. Ito ay isang lapis. Right? I am holding a pencil. This is a pencil. So, ito means this. Ito means this. On the other hand, we have the word iyan. Meron kang libro sa loob ng bag mo. Iyan ay pwede mong basahin. Right? iyan, right? Iyan ay pwede mong basahin, right? You have a book inside your bag, right? You can read that, right? So, iyan means that. Iyan means that. Now let's go ahead and just repeat after me and just to practice your pronunciation. Aklat, aklat. Cuaderno, cuaderno. Pizarra, pizarra. Tisa, tisa. Pakibigyan, pakibigyan. Pambura, pambura. Lamesa, lamesa. Silya, silya. Or upuan, upuan. Telepono, telepono. Payong, payong. Susi, susi. Tubig, tubig. Panyo, panyo. Pamaypay, pamaypay. Ito, ito. Iyan, iyan. So again, these are our vocabularies. So if you haven't written down, I highly encourage you to write them down. Otherwise, let's go to our next activity. I want you to match the following to its right definition in English. So go ahead and pause the video and I will show you the answers. So here are the answers. I have another activity. It's the same thing. So again, I want you to pause the video and I'll show you the answers. Here are the answers. Now let's look at the grammar part of this section, 1.c. I will first explain the grammar concepts. You'll then be able to practice these grammar concepts, and then I will give you the answers. So, for here, one of our objectives are you're going to learn how to use mayroon, and meron, and identify their differences. You'll also learn how to count from 1 to 10, and you're going to be able to conjugate them. Okay, that's why. Notice in this example, we have the word my. Right? My is have, I is ako, and bola is po. And then we have the word meron. Meron silang sasakyan. They have a vehicle. So one thing to notice in this example is that the word my basically means my and mayroon and meron basically means have. Mayroon and meron, they are equivalent in their grammatical rules. Mayroon is just a longer version of meron, or sorry, meron is just a shorter version of mayroon. So in this, the main difference between them is that when we're using my, the object comes first instead of the subject. So in this case, my bola ako, bola is the object, and then it follows the pronoun ako. So it's the subject. With the meron or mayroon, we have the subject comes first and then the object. So meron silang sasakyan. They, which means the silang. Sasakyan is the vehicle. They have a vehicle. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. I made a video about this before. So you can go to my channel, the Pinoy Grammar, and I have more information about it. But this is just a shorter version of this. Let's learn to count to 10. So we have isa, dalawa, tatlo, apat, lima, anim, pito, walo, siyam, sampo. Now you try, if you remember. Isa, dalawa, tatlo, apat, lima, anim, pito, walo, siyam, sampo. Awesome. Let's move on. And I know I'm going fast, but let's go ahead and move on to conjugate MAG verbs. All right. So in conjugating MAG verbs, let's first learn this object. So this object, I'm pretty sure it's probably you can probably recognize what it is, but this is what we call walis. It's basically a broom, right? It's a broom, it's a noun, and we can turn this walis, this noun, into a verb by adding the word mag into it. Hence why this is called mag verbs. So walis is a broom, and if you add the word mag, it becomes magwalis, which means to use a broom or to sweep. And this magwalis, this is the infinitive version. This is the conjugation. All right. So let's look at it each by each. So in the infinitive, we just add the word mag, right? We just add the word mag. So in the mag verbs, we just add the word mag in the infinitive. In the past tense, we changed that mag to nag. So we changed the M to N, and we just add the word nag. Present tense, we add the word nag, and we do something called reduplication. In future tense, we add the word mag. So we change the nag to mag in the future tense. So N to M in the future tense, and we add the word, and we do something called reduplication again. So reduplication, to clear things up, reduplication is basically duplicating the first syllable of the word. So for example, we have the word laro, right? We duplicate the first syllable, la or la, it becomes lalaro. Then we have the word bilang, right? Bibilang. And then sulat, which means susulat. Now let's look at this, right? So we have the word mag, right? Mag. So in the infinitive form, we say mag, right? Magwalis, right? So an example of this is, hindi siya pwedeng magwalis sa labas dahil umuulan pa, right? He cannot sweep outside because it's still raining, right? Magwalis, right? We just add the word mag to the infinitive, to the noun, to the root word. All right. Now past tense. Again, remember we add the word nag instead of mag, nag. So araw-araw siyang nagwalis sa loob dahil mahilig siyang tumulong sa paglilinis ng bahay, right? Nagwalis means swept, right? Past tense, right? He swept inside every day because he likes to help clean the house, right? So that's what it is. Nagwalis, nag. Present tense, we use the same mag verb, so that's nag. So we use the word nag, and we do something called reduplication. So, nagwawalis sina Tom and Jerry sa harap ng paaralan. Tom and Jerry are sweeping in front of the school. So, sweeping, right? Nagwawalis. All right? And then last, we have the future tense, which is, we just add the word mag, and we do something called reduplication. So, magwawalis ako bukas dahil umuulan kaninang umaga, right? I will sweep tomorrow because it rained this morning. Right? Magwawalis ako bukas dahil umuulan kaninang umaga. I will sweep tomorrow because it rained this morning. Now I want you to go ahead and describe what happens going from the infinitive form to the future form for each one of these. So pause the video and just write down, what's happening in the infinitive form, what's happening in the past tense form or the present tense, what's happening. All right. So we have, for magwalis, we just add the word mag to walis, right, to the root word. Past tense, we add the word nag. Present tense, we add the word nag and we do something called reduplication. In future tense, we add the word mag and we do something called reduplication. So past tense, nag, present tense, nag, future tense, mag, right? That's mag, all right? So that's the end of our video. Thank you very much for making it so far in this video. Remember, we have our next video is Unit 1 Part D, where you will be able to express your likes and dislikes and greet when being visited by a friend or when you're visiting a friend. So, yeah, I will see you next time. Paalam.